But Iris has managed to get in behind into that base at 11 o'clock, but Nalra's got some defense up there. He's got a Reaver, he's got a Photon Cannon up there, so that won't bother him too much. Those two Dragoons are going to come back up and clear out the rest of Iris's Vultures. So as I was saying, last season Iris was really good against all matchups. He was brilliant against Zerg as well. He beat Savior, he almost beat GG Play, but for GG Play just pulling out just incredible play in that last game, just unacceptably incredible play. You just wouldn't expect that at all. Not acceptable, but unexpected. So I think finally Iris has realized that Nalra is not going for fast carriers. Nalra only now putting that Stargate up. That might just be for Arbiters, and I'm not sure if those are two Stargates going up or just one of them, but definitely one Stargate at least, along with another building. Looked to me like two Stargates. So is Nalra going to make the switch? I mean, now it would kind of be the ideal time. Iris doesn't really have enough units on the ground to set up any sort of meaningful contain. Nalra has got his 6 gateways pumping, and he's able to produce a lot of units from there. And Iris once again sneaking in with about 4 or 5 Vultures into the drone line, trying to hurt Nalra's economy. He will kill a significant number of drones despite that single Photon Cannon. One Photon Cannon isn't really enough, and that's a little bit of careless of Nalra to do that. Nalra is going to lose a couple of these Dragoons here to those Spider Mines planted along the way. Brilliant micro again by Nalra, despite not having an observer with him. His micro has been fantastic, but now he's going to get hurt. And Nalra doing a great job of sending one Dragoon ahead of his pack at a time so as to not take too much damage on all of his Dragoons. He did have about 5 or 6 Dragoons. I think he lost about 2 there to Spider Mines. That's a little bit careless by Nalra, but he was forced into that situation by that Vulture harass. So Iris taking out a few probes, trying to level the economic advantage that Nalra had. I don't think he's really done that. I don't think he's really made up for all of those SCVs that got taken out by that one Reaver. And Iris, despite having the Goliaths getting caught off guard, not having siege tanks, I think a couple of siege tanks would have made a big difference there versus that Goliath, versus that Reaver, but Iris chose not to go for an engineering bay, and therefore he could not put up turrets, so that's why he had to go for the Goliaths. And Iris now trying to push forward, trying to set up some sort of a contain, but obviously unsuccessful in doing that. Nalra is doing a great job of keeping him pinned back, and that Reaver drops, and 2 double Reaver drop by Nalra. I don't think he actually hit anything with that. He didn't hit any of those SCVs. It had those SCVs gone, and the Reaver drops again, and this Reaver, oh my god, another SCV genocide, another SCV massacre here now by Nalra. I don't think he'll mind losing the Reaver, and Nalra is now building the Fleet Beacon with that one Stargate. I think he's putting up a second Stargate as well. I'm not sure if Nalra lost one of those Reavers. I think one of those Reavers did get taken out, and Iris is now positioned his Goliaths up on the ramp at that base at the 830 position to counter that shuttle. And that shuttle looks to me like it might actually get taken down by that Goliath. One more hit's going to do it, and the shuttle does get taken down. So Iris brilliantly with that one Goliath taking down that shuttle. But I think Nalra will be happy enough with the level of damage he's inflicted here. The thing that's worrying for me is Nalra doesn't have too many Zealots, and he hasn't cleared. There seems to be like a line of Spider Mines just outside Nalra's natural expo, and Nalra needs to clear that out if he wants to prevent Nalra needs to clear that out if he wants to prevent Iris from setting up some sort of container. But definitely I would have to give the advantage in the game right now to Nalra, and Nalra is doing exactly that. He's clearing out those Spider Mines. So Iris has amassed a decent sized force, but it's not nearly enough, and Ra is going to be having carriers coming out soon. He's getting the second Stargate popping up as well. He's pumping from about 6 gateways. He's got a decent sized force on the ground. He's got a very solid economy. Iris's economy isn't nearly as good, and Ra is seeing that those units push up the middle, and now Ra obviously needing to delay Iris's push. And Iris looking good. Iris looking good here today versus Nalra looking good here versus Iris today. He's doing a great job so far in this game, and I really expected this to be a very one-sided matchup. I expected Iris to dominate Nalra, considering his performances versus Stork, who, as I said last season, was just so good in Protoss versus Terran matchups. Considering Iris' performance then, I did expect him to dominate Nalra in this game. So far, that hasn't been the case. Iris has definitely been on the back foot. And again, he's got no Goliaths now this time, and Nalra able to just drop Zealot bombs on those siege tanks, and that was a little bit careless of Nalra, because Iris had unsieged those tanks, and he still dropped that Zealot on top of them, and that was kind of pointless. That wasn't going to help him, but I think there's more Zealots in that shuttle that he's going to be able to drop, and he drops another Zealot, and this time manages to actually take out, and this time a Zealot runs in with the Spider Mine. I don't think that Spider Mine actually did any damage to Iris troops, but because Iris has no Goliaths left there, he's obviously using his Goliaths to counter shuttles in his main. He didn't bring any of his Goliaths with his main force. Iris is able to slow him down with just Zealot drops, and again, Iris a little bit careless there. If he had even a single Goliath with his main force, that would make all the difference, but Nalra really just buying himself a lot of time here, preventing Iris from getting up that ramp and pushing further, and Nalra just trying to lure that Spider Mine in amongst those tanks, and that Spider Man did get taken out. I don't think that actually managed to hit the tanks. It didn't hit the tanks because only one of the tanks is damaged, and Nalra has now got a couple of shuttles up, and Iris now finally coming up with about 4 or 5 Goliaths, and that's going to finally put a stop to the Zealot bombs that have been holding him at bay at that ramp, and so Nalra is going to be forced to retreat, and again, Nalra forcing Iris to put those tanks back in siege mode to prevent them from moving down. And Nalra might be in a little bit of trouble here because he hasn't really, because Iris has kept him busy in terms of killing his units, and Nalra doesn't have a lot of units, and Nalra pushing forward with his zealots and his dragoons. He's going to try and break that contain that Iris is just trying to set up here with those Goliaths. Should be able to take out that shuttle, and Iris now focusing that shuttle. Iris stops focusing the shuttle, trying to fight against the ground troops of Nalra. That's a little bit of a mistake. He should have finished that shuttle off. That shuttle's still sitting there though. I think the shuttle might still get taken out. I'm not sure if that shuttle got taken out or not. Nalra didn't necessarily break the contain because of the units below the ramp. Now Iris had a lot of units there, but Nalra definitely did do some damage to the initial contain. Iris only has about 3 or 4 Goliaths. Iris is pumping Goliaths now, and Nalra doesn't have a lot of carriers, so his expansion is coming under fire now. And Nalra, the problem, as I felt for Nalra, is that he didn't have a lot of ground troops. And now Nalra going in, once again trying to break that contain. He needs to focus on those Goliaths, obviously, take them down so that his carriers can then wreak havoc. Unfortunately for Nalra, he doesn't have a lot of carriers. He did go for those carriers very late in the game. I'm not sure what Nalra was doing. He had a good economy going for some time now, but he never did not make the switch to carriers. He didn't have a lot of ground troops, and despite the fact that he had a great economy, despite the fact that he's done so much damage to Iris' economy, he still has a much inferior force on the ground, and it does look to me like Nalra is going to get taken out. Those carriers are getting taken out. The first carrier gets taken out by the Goliaths, and the second carrier is getting taken out as well. So it looks to me like Nalra is in a huge amount of trouble, and that lone Marine finishing that carrier off. The lone Marine's going to actually finish that carrier off. Nalra managed to maneuver that carrier away, but that carrier is going to get taken out very soon. That's not going to last much longer. And Nalra's main, meanwhile, coming under fire. Nalra looks like he's clear. That from looking at the minimap, it looks like he's successfully defended his natural expansion, and he has successfully defended that natural expansion, but he's lost everything else there. And now Iris is laying siege to that expansion at the 11 o'clock position, which is Nalra's main source for resources. And I just don't understand what Nalra has been doing here. He is now pumping carriers, but he just seemed to have not enough troops on the ground. I think he was a little bit overconfident in his position in the game. Iris now, the game definitely swung in his favor. He's got another couple of command centers up. He's got one up at 7 o'clock. He's also got one up at about 3 o'clock. And so Iris's economy is booming. Nalra's economy is in a huge amount of trouble. Nalra trying to take out those siege tanks before they can clear a path into his base. Those pylons currently blocking, the path is open. The tanks have opened it up, so those Goliaths are going to go in and kill off a lot of the probes, and there's nothing Nalra can do about it. He's going to be able to take out the siege tanks, and Iris now just switching to mass Goliaths at this point in time, because that's what Nalra mainly has. Carriers. He's producing a few dragoons as well, so he should be able to protect that base, but he's going to lose most of the probes there. And I think Iris making a little bit of a mistake, and now Nalra's carriers are trapped. Nalra in huge trouble here. This might be GG right here. Nalra's carriers trapped between Iris' Goliaths, and he loses another carrier. He's only got 2 carriers left. Nalra in huge trouble, and Iris really piling on the pressure with those Goliaths. But unfortunately, those Goliaths trapped, and this time Iris managed to kill the Goliaths off. Iris managed to kill that Dragoon off with that siege tank, and that expansion is going to be in huge trouble now. I don't think Nalra has anything left to defend it, and it just boggles my mind. Even though I felt Nalra was ahead in economic terms throughout the game, he just didn't have the troops on the ground that he needed at the right time. He allowed Iris to set up that contain, and I think that switch to carriers was a mistake. I think he'd been better off going for High Templar, or if he wanted to switch to carriers, he should have made that switch earlier. So Nalra surprisingly loses that game. That's GG. I enjoy that game. Iris coming out on top and showing just how tough he is to beat in Protoss versus Terran. I don't think Nalra played all that badly, but Iris, despite losing all those SCVs out of nowhere, almost kind of UV style cheater mode, had a lot of troops on the ground. So GG guys, that's the first game. This is Klaz.